Hey everybody, it's another Wednesday, so welcome back to Round the Twist. I'm bringing you everything fibery, I guess, that's been driving me nuts this week. Start off with I feel kind of pathetic. 2 things that I have on the needles that are, the same 2 things I've had on the needles for the last, how many weeks? Kind of pathetic, I know. Let's see. Start off with my plain vanilla sock. The peacock sock has a heel turned. This is just my TV knitting, so I've been watching a lot of Netflix and a lot of just for something mindless lately because my brain's been a little fried. Rewatching a lot of episodes of Corner Gas, just because it's easy. I don't have to think about it. It's not a mental stimulator. I can just sit and enjoy it and have fun. But someone in the show notes, I can't remember who. Oh, one of you that helped me with the pronunciation of the Pfau colorway, the peacock colorway. This is, the yarn is part of the Opal Rainforest collection. It's actually their series 2, which is why I can't find a link to it anymore, because they're on series 5, so I don't think they're even making this anymore. And all of I don't know, can you see on the little ball band? There's the little... Every single one of their colorways was named after some exotic animal. And they started off with like tree frogs and tropical birds. I think I've got toucan in my stash room too, but this is the peacock or Pfau colorway. That's why they called it that. I don't know if Opal thinks that it looks like a peacock. Hey, whatever. Who am I to argue? I thought it was pretty. Dad, go away for a minute or two. Second dad sock. I am, I believe, 7 rows away from having the cuff done. I know, it just looks like a big gray blob to you guys. I don't know why I even bother. I won't even stretch it out because my lighting is so bad in here. I need to get better light. But yeah, still 7 rows away from starting the heel flap. Yay, those are flying. Still haven't started Mom's Christmas present. In fact, I should have probably started it last night because I'm on my 3 days off before I work the weekend, so Lord knows it won't get done anytime soon, or even started, because this is going to be hard to show you guys. I started the Twist and Shout that you all chose for me out of the Crown Mountain Farms Sock Hop Super Wash. I'm using Grace. Yeah! See, this is Grace. She is my Lendrum folding double treadle. With a woolly winder. I decided I'm OCD enough that I didn't like having to stop to move the little slider. She didn't have hooks. Lendrums come with a little like grippy slider that moves along a bar, and you actually have to stop and move it just like you have to move it from hook to hook to hook on an Ashford or a Shaft or any of those. But I like to have the yarn wind on smooth, so it bugged me that I'd wind it on, there'd be a bump. And then I'd move it to the next bump, and it'd be bumpy, and I'd go back in and want to fill those in to try to pack as much of the singles or the plied or whatever on that I possibly could. So a couple of years ago, I talked my parents into buying me a woolly winder for Christmas, and I have the woolly winder in 3 bobbins, which are plenty for me. I know some people would want more, but I can keep rotating stuff off the bobbins enough. I haven't needed to do more than a 3-ply ever yet. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, I started the first third of the roving. See, this is what the second third looks like, and this is the ball of roving I have left from the first third. So I made progress last night. Well, it's hard to tell on the bobbin, but I'm on these stretches that have huge amounts of white, so it really doesn't look that interesting. But what I've been doing is just breaking off a chunk, not drafting it a whole lot, just a little, loosen it up, stretch it out a little, and then I'm going back because it puffs up so much that it's really hard to spin it fine for me, and I can't remember who taught me this, but then just rolling it in my hands to compress it back down again, and I am getting such a fine single on this. I love this. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm spinning on the smallest ratio, so the 19:1 ratio. It's going to be a true 3-ply. I decided once I finished recording with you guys last week that I'm going to do my first true 3-ply sock yarn. So I wanted to get this super fine. I don't want a bulky sock yarn. And yeah, it's going great. I've probably spun up half of the first third, so I guess 1/6 of the 8 ounces. I haven't measured or anything. I'm just looking at it going, oh yeah, that's about half the ball. And I'll probably finish this third tonight and move on, but I had to make room because I had singles on my other bobbins, and I actually 3-plied my old, this is from CJ Kopak. It was part of her spin along from like May, I believe. This was the Envious Eyes colorway. All pretty teal blues. It had some natural in there. And I know I overspun it and overplied it, but the fiber didn't want to listen to me, so I let it tell me what it wanted to be, and I got about a bobbin and a half, probably. I don't know yardage. I haven't wound it off yet. So we'll see how much I actually get out of that. But yeah, did I say wool silk blend? Yeah, wool, silk, and both the dyed wool and that natural wool, but it's gorgeous. I love it. I don't know what it'll be. It'll tell me. I never know what I'm except for this like sock yarn and stuff. I never know what a fiber wants to be when I start spinning usually. I just let it spin how it wants to spin. I'm not a highly technical spinner. I just kind of do whatever. Play. It's supposed to be fun, relaxing. Sorry, I want to finish this. Now that I started it, I'm going to keep compressing this so I can spin it up next. Finished object of the week. I'm wearing it. This is old, obviously. It's the chevron scarf out of Last Minute Knitted Gifts. Did it out of 4 skeins of Koigu, and it is huge. I mean, it hangs down to my upper thighs, and I'm not a short person. Unfortunately, I didn't enter what colors of Koigu that I used on my Ravelry page. I'm sorry. And I went looking on the Personal Threads website, since they have the wall of Koigu here in Omaha. I know the names of the 2 colors because they name all of their colors as they come in, rather than just referring to them by the numbers. And the blues and greeny browns, that's the end right here. That they called Waters. And then the bit that has all the pink and the yellow and whatever was called Joe's shirts, because one of the owners, Joe, he always kind of wears crazy shirts, and I didn't see either color name on the website, so they might have named it something different, and since I don't have the numbers, I'm sorry, I can't help you there, but it's just a matter of picking 2 colors that kind of coordinate together. But it's insanely long. If you're shorter, you could probably get away with 1 skein of each, and you'd still have a decent length scarf. I mean, I've got this looped around my neck once, and it still hangs down to my thighs in the front. So, yeah, plenty there. Yeah, I think that's it with that one. And the big news before we close out, since, wow, it's already 8.5 minutes. This week went quick. The Yarn Harlot finally gave in to everyone's begging. I don't know if y'all saw this when she put it up on her blog in January when she was having all those kitchen troubles. She designed a cowl, a very, very pretty, lacy, pretty thing, as she called it. Just a little scrap of lace and gorgeousness out of some cashmere yarn that she had, and she finally released the pattern, so that's up for sale on Ravelry. So if you feel like it, go buy it. I'm feeling the need to make a trip down to Personal Threads tomorrow, so if I can haul my butt out of bed soon enough, and pick up something that might work for that. It does not take a lace weight. According to the pattern, it takes a fine sport weight, or fine fingering weight, excuse me. So if you have a fine, soft fingering weight, I'm sure Skinny Bugga from Bugga, however you pronounce it, from Sanguine Griffin would be wonderful, but I can't get my hands on any of this stuff. So I'm going to see if our local store has anything. And yeah, I think that's it. Go, enjoy. I've got some packages coming next week that I'll hopefully be able to show you some stuff. And yeah, have a great week of knitting, and I'll see you guys next Wednesday.